Hi everyone, it's Shirley from Shirley's World. Good morning, good morning. I'm just going to fix myself some breakfast here. Hi. Yeah, I'm going to have oatmeal because it's still very cold out this morning. I've already fed the chickies and fed the barn cats and fed the dogs, so it's my turn now. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Not that it's any big thing. I'm just putting some oatmeal in my bowl. Add some brown sugar with it. Yes, I have to have brown sugar and a little butter. And add some salt to it. Salt with the sweet, yes. And I'll put the butter on when it comes out. And then it's a 1/4 cup of oats and then a 1/2 cup of water. When I go out to let the chickens out and feed my cats and everything, if it's cold, I mean cold that I have to wear my winter coat and a hat, then for sure it's oatmeal. I just stick this in the microwave for, I started out at a minute, and then I add 30 seconds after I stir it, because if I put it on a minute and 30 seconds, a lot of times it'll boil over. So I've discovered this is how you do it. And I don't know, oatmeal when it boils over in the microwave is a slimy mess. Hi Puggle Love. Thanks for joining me. Getting lots of new people recently. Let me start my coffee. I already have it in the Keurig. I just have to push the button. Yeah, last night I did my first of my nursing scopes, so if you're interested in that, I'm an RN that graduated in 1963, and these are all old stories about then, and also about my career. Most of my career was spent in the emergency room, so I have all kinds of stories. I had some years on the different floors too, but most of the stories, I think, are 30 seconds. Most of the stories are from the emergency room, and there's lots of good ones. Anyway, this morning I'm going to text my friend at the barn and see if she's going to be there today, and if she is, I'm going to go out to the barn, spend some time out there with the horses and her. Thanks for the hearts, I appreciate it. And if I have a chance, I'll do a little scope from the barn. Nobody likes me to scope them. My daughter isn't going to be there. She has a photo shoot this afternoon. She's a photographer. So, hi Bora, you're new too. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I'm just an old lady that likes to scope. I believe I'm the oldest person scoping on Periscope. I haven't found anybody that's older. I'm 73. I'm kind of techie, maybe that's why I like it. I've had a computer since, I don't know, probably since they were invented. And, yeah. Ooh, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. My first, believe it or not, my first computer was an Atari. It was sort of a game computer, but you could also do different things on it. And I think you could even, when they started to go online, you could go online. When I first went online, I'm not sure if it was, I think it was with the Atari, but I'm not sure. I first went online, I think my carrier was or my browser was a CompuServe. And at that time, they charged you per, I don't know if it was per words or per minute or whatever, which I didn't realize. And my first bill, my first phone bill was $200 and some. My husband almost had a fit. After that, they stopped. I changed to, I think, AOL. And then I changed, I forget what changed. They must have changed. They didn't charge like that anymore because they were just, I mean, it was horrible. I have to go over and get some milk. So. And cream for my coffee. I like half and half. In my cream, in my coffee, and a little bit of milk in my oatmeal. So, my coffee's done. Add some sugar. I have, where are you? I use stevia for my sweetener. I was using Trevia, but I'm following along with Dr. Christine Kazmar, if you know who she is. And she said Nutriva, whatever the name of that is terrible. So I'm using pure stevia here. You never know how many drops, because it's a big cup of coffee. So I have to put the drops in and then taste it. See if it's sweet enough for me. Yep, perfect. Yeah, I'm a carbaholic, so I've gotten used to a lot of sugar, and I'm trying to wean myself off of sugar. Of course, you can see I did put sugar, brown sugar in my oatmeal. I just can't get myself to not sweeten my oatmeal in the morning. Okay, I'm going to take this over here so we can sit down. Look out there, Spirit. Okay, I'll take you with me. What's everybody doing today? What are you going to do today? It's a beautiful day here in Ohio. I live in northeast Ohio, a little south of Cleveland, in a town called Medina. And I like Medina. And I live in a house that was built in 1850. Of course, this kitchen has been recently redone. It didn't, I'm sure. It never looked like this. I did get an old-time tin ceiling in here, though, which you can see. Everybody notices that. It is real tin. It's not plastic. I had my kitchen done about 3 years ago, and when they gutted the whole kitchen. Puckle Love, hi. They gutted the whole kitchen down to the boards. And it was very interesting what the house was made like back then. And it was all wide boards and square nailed. And but when he hung the their big 12 by 12, I think, or maybe bigger, maybe 18 by 18 squares. It's very heavy. The whole ceiling together weighs 700 pounds. So he had to put a plywood ceiling in to support it. and you know, it's all nailed up to the beams and everything. So yeah, big beams in the house. Yeah, I love old houses. So it took me a long time to find this one. My husband and I, well, me mostly, rode around looking for houses, and just happened to run across this one after we had looked at another one, and my real estate lady was with us, and this house was not for sale. They had no for sale sign, and I said to my real estate girl, I said, see that house right there? That is sort of what I'm looking for. She says, well, stop. I'll go in and talk to the man, and you never know. So she was right. She went in and asked him about it, and here he was about to put it up for sale. This house had never had a sign in front of it, and I was the only one to offer him a price. So this house was meant to be mine, I figure. And I've loved it ever since. I have 1 square acre here. This house was the original house that I'm surrounded by a golf course. Those people that are new here. Surrounded by a golf course in 100 and some acres, and that 100 and some acres was owned by this farm, this house. It was a dairy farm one time, a long time ago. I'm only the 6th owner of this house since 1850. Maybe 5th, I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. The man that lived here before, lived here 14 years. He did a lot of history on this house, and he put it all in a book, and he passed the book down to me, which was really nice. So when I do something to the house, like the kitchen and the dining room area, I put the pictures of what we did and everything into this book, so it'll be passed on. I'm not going to sell this house, but maybe my children will at some point. My husband was an avid golfer, and I figured he'd love this house. The problem was he doesn't like this golf course. He was a good golfer, and he always said this golf course doesn't cut their greens short enough, whatever that means. So he played on a golf course still in the town in Parma, Ohio, where we used to live, because that's where all his friends were. So he'd go back there, which is a half-hour away, and that's where he'd play golf. And he played a lot. So I was happy here, putting in gardens, and, you know, that was when I was like 50. I had a lot of energy back then. So that's the story, how I got the house. And I've changed a lot of the gardens. I put in a lot of perennial gardens and gardens out front and a picket fence. If you go on my website, my blog, you'll see lots of pictures. I've been blogging since 2009. Most people that are on Periscope have a business or do something that they promote. I don't have a business, except I sell on eBay once in a while, but it's not a business. And so I try to promote my blog. I don't have a paper about the name of my blog. I usually had one here. I don't know where it went, but my blog is shirleysworld.blogspot.com. Shirley's World. If you just Google Shirley's World, you'll find me. But if you come to visit my blog, leave me a comment or something so I know that you've been there. So, Yeah, I'm just going to eat breakfast and then text my friend at the barn, see if she's going to be out there. Go see my horses. I have 2 horses. They're boarded because 1 square acre isn't big enough for horses. I have 4 chickens left, 4 hens give me eggs. Not right now, but in the summer they do. And I'm going to get new chicks in the spring because I need more chickens. And I have 2 barn cats out there, and I have 2 English pointers in the house. I work with the Pointer Rescue Organization, and these were fosters, but I always seem to adopt my fosters, so I'm a foster failure. But they have good homes, good home, and home forever. All my pets are forever pets, that's for sure. So that's my story, and I think I don't know if anybody's here, but I'm going to finish eating my breakfast, and then maybe I'll do some scoping from the barn later. But you all have a nice day, and I'll see you later. Bye.